You don't get to be the number 5 overall pick in the Major League Baseball draft unless you have some pretty obvious talent. And from the time that Clint Frazier was a teenager, it was pretty evident that his bat speed was something special. When the Yankees traded for him, Brian Cashman notoriously called it legendary bat speed. When the Yankees were trading their two biggest assets in 2016, the two main returns they got were Gleyber Torres for Aroldis Chapman and Clint Frazier for Andrew Miller. When Clint Frazier finally got called up to the majors in 2017, he really made an impact right away. He had a home run in his first game against the Astros. 6 days later, he had a walk-off home run against Corey Knebel of the Brewers, and the crowd was just in pandemonium at that point, and it looked like the future was so bright for Clint Frazier. But in 2018, he suffered a concussion, and he missed pretty much the entire season. He did play a little bit at AAA, but he just wasn't the same player. And then in 2019, he finally gets a little bit more of a chance in the major leagues, but his defense really suffered from that concussion. He was tentative going near the wall. He was tentative to lay out for balls in the outfield, and he kept changing up his cleats. He was trying to do this thing where he would take tennis shoes and add new cleats to the bottom of them, and he would change his cleats as kind of a social media stunt every single day, which, look, until you're established in the big leagues, you really shouldn't do stuff like that. One thing I've always wondered is if constantly switching out his footwear that year contributed to his defensive struggles. Anybody who's played the outfield can tell you how important your footwear is to tracking the ball. If you got the wrong shoes on, the wrong cleats, the ball will kind of bounce as you're running. Anyway, he struggled defensively, and last year he showed a trait that I don't think gets enough credit in baseball, and that's perseverance. He came back from being one of the worst defensive outfielders in all of baseball to being a top 3 Gold Glove finalist, and Major League Baseball actually ranked him as the number 9 overall left fielder. He actually played a lot of right field too last year, filling in for Judge. But I think that he's got enough speed to cover left field in Yankee Stadium, which is by far the biggest left field in all of baseball. A lot of times, guys, when they struggle in New York, the media can get to them, the fans can get to them everywhere they go. They see the newspapers that, have headlines about how much they've struggled. So it takes a lot to kind of put that behind you and rise once again. And Clint Frazier did that, and because he did that, he earned a ton of my respect. I'll never forget the swagger that he had when he came back last season and went 3 for 4 on that first night after he got called up against the Braves, hit a big home run, ripped a ball to left field. He basically hit laser beams all over the ballpark all night long, and you could just tell this was a different Clint Frazier. Without Clint Frazier last year, I'm not sure the Yankees don't finish in 3rd place behind the Blue Jays. He carried them on a number of occasions. He had a lot of big hits and big defensive plays. One thing that I really like about Clint Frazier is his throwing motion from the outfield. And he comes directly over the top when he throws the ball, which means his ball is going to stay true. It's not going to fade off to the arm side like a lot of guys when they throw. Because a lot of guys throw 3/4, and that just creates a natural spin coming out of your hand where it's almost like a long-distance two-seam fastball where it kind of drifts away from your target. Clint Frazier comes directly over the top, and it's going to create a direct, straight line to the bag that he's throwing to. That makes him a deadly thrower from the outfield. Accuracy is key. For much of his time with the Yankees, Clint Frazier has been blocked. But this year, the Yankees have not re-signed Brett Gardner, who, it could be argued, is one of the biggest fan favorites on the team. He's a left-handed bat, which they're sorely in need of. And I think that they finally decided that, hey, look, Clint Frazier can get the job done out there. Why pay Brett Gardner $7 or $8 million to watch him decline when you got Clint Frazier, who's only going to get better over the next few years? And he doesn't make nearly as much. Clint Frazier is probably going to have a very nice year in 2021. If he stays healthy, if he can avoid running into walls and getting hurt, I think Clint Frazier is a guy who could easily, and I say easily, hit 30 home runs. He's just got that kind of power, and because he uses the whole field, he can use right field at Yankee Stadium. But he's not just a home run guy. He did a lot better with taking pitches last year, with working the count, with being patient at the plate, and making sure that he got a good pitch to hit. And he had a lot of line drives for doubles and base hits. He's a guy who can turn on an inside fastball and rip it down the left field line, or he can wait on a pitch and take it to right field and either hit it out of the ballpark or just take it the other way for a base hit. We saw him do that in a number of opportunities When he could have been swinging for the fences, he shortened up and used the whole field and took advantage of the defense, which likes to put the shift on, and that's only going to help him. It would not surprise me if Clint Frazier is a guy who had a 270 or 280 batting average, maybe a 340, 350 on base percentage, and hit 30 bombs, maybe drove in 85 runs. And with his improved defense, I mean, that's just an incredibly valuable asset that the Yankees have out there in left field. I really do hope that they give him his chance and that they don't re-sign Brett Gardner. I know that a lot of you love Brett Gardner. I love Brett Gardner. I think Brett Gardner is a great player. He's a great clubhouse guy. I think it would be nice to sign him to maybe a one-day contract in July, let him come out and play the top of the first in left field, then let him retire. So yeah, I'm really excited about Clint Frazier. Spring training begins in just a couple of weeks. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel.